This CyCast is provided to you by the Iowa State Letter Winners Club, bridging the gap between legend and legacy by engaging in our past to invest in our future.
All right, so welcome everyone to the Iowa State CyCast. In celebration of Women's History Month, we are taking time to share stories and milestones of women at Iowa State. Today, we have 5 special guests who collectively broke a 10-year school record, not just once, but twice. And we are going to hear the breakdown of these races in just a moment. So thank you all for taking time to join us. Let's start with a few introductions, and I would like each of you to share why you chose to come to Iowa State. So first, let's start with Zakia. Zakia Amos is a senior from Houston, Texas.
My decision to come to Iowa State really was just to get away from Texas. It sounds brutal, but I just wanted to experience something different in my college experience, being able to experience something weather-wise and just people-wise. I feel like I grew up in a big city around multiple people, and coming on my visit here to Iowa State, it was just so small and secluded. I feel like it gave me the chance to learn who I was myself. I think just coming here on my visit, I instantly felt like it was home to me. I felt like I didn't feel outcasted when I met the girls that were here. I didn't feel like I had to be someone different. It was just something that I felt like I really wanted to experience, and I haven't had the thought of leaving since.
Awesome. Well, we've definitely given you a taste of a lot of different kinds of weather and seasons.
Yes.
Bria, you'll be next here. Bria Barnes is a junior from Elkins Park, Pennsylvania.
I chose Iowa State because they were really consistent and they were really hospitable, and I didn't really experience that on other visits. And that, like Z said, I felt like this was home and the perfect fit for me and the perfect place for me at the time.
Awesome. Well, we are glad you chose Iowa State. Michaela Clark is a freshman from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Welcome, Michaela. Oh, can't hear you.
Hey.
Oh, got it.
On my visit, it just felt like home. I've actually run with some of the cross girls and some of the track team girls who were here last year for AAU whenever I was younger. So it was nice already knowing a big chunk of the girls, and pretty much just being able to feel like home. It felt like everybody was so nice, respectful, and welcoming on my visit. So instantly fell in love with the school.
Awesome. I continue to be amazed by just how tight the track and field community is across the country. So that's awesome. Kaylin Hall is next. She is a senior from London, Ontario.
So I chose Iowa State, one, because I wanted to just experience my own life and kind of build my own world. So Iowa State was kind of just like a nice getaway for me initially, and then just kind of getting to know everybody and building a family here is the reason why I just kind of felt at home and stayed here for Iowa State.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaylin. And Rachel Joseph is a freshman from Richmond, Texas.
Okay, so I chose Iowa State because when I came on my visit, I actually had a lot of fun. And I did come during homecoming week, so of course it was going to be a lot of fun. And the team was just like a family. Everyone was so sweet and nice, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, why wait?
Awesome. Awesome. Well, homecoming has so many amazing traditions, so we're glad that you found that to be a really great fit for you. So at the last home meet at Iowa State on February 4th, I actually had a chance to talk to a few of you and learned of the potential in breaking this record. So I'll just keep this as an open question. So whoever wants to share is welcome to. Was breaking the 10-year-old 4x400 relay record a goal set forth by the group at the beginning of the season?
I would say for me, when we had our breakdowns with Curtis at the beginning of the season, it actually was one of mine. Actually, breaking the 600-yard was a record that I wanted to break, and then being able to break the 4x4 record was actually one of them. And we kind of broke down well, you can't just break the 4x4 record. And I was just like, well, obviously, because I wouldn't do that. But it was just being able to be a part of something and what I could bring to help break that and be able to be close to that record and being able to just support my teammates and being able to just put in whatever I could to be able to do it. Because I remember talking to you at the meet, and I'm like, yeah, we're about to break the record, and you're like, oh, seriously? And I'm like, yeah. But I think that was just Curtis's like, we have a good relay going on, but it was just like we had so many bodies everywhere, and everyone was everywhere doing something different, that it was just like we didn't have time to just like actually put our all in, want to actually do it at the time that we didn't do it that time.
Well, and that's actually a really good point. So for those that maybe aren't as familiar with track and field, there are so many things that you're doing, maybe even multiple events. And Bree, maybe this is something that you can kind of share, because that day was a little bit different for you too, of just how you competed in your own races and then how you prioritize relays as well.
Yeah, so unfortunately that day I was not feeling 100% at all. I actually didn't run my open 400 race because I was just not okay, and I rather contribute to the full record because I knew we were trying to break that school record. So yeah, that day was like kind of all over the place for me, but I was able to tighten up a little bit and get myself together um, for the sake of the relay and contributing to my team. So
But I think going through those milestones and going through that adversity is just part of it, because you can't always be at your best and you can't always have the best race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 6 days later, you all traveled to Fayetteville, Arkansas for the Tyson Invite, where 4 of you, Zakia, Kaylin, Rachel, and Bria, were the first team at Iowa State to break an indoor time under 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So when the clock read 3 minutes and 38.9 seconds, 90 seconds to be exact, at the finish of the Tyson Invite, what was the feeling among the group?
We didn't know.
Me and Kaylin were the first to know because I crossed the line. The order was Z to Kaylin to Rachel to me. So when I crossed the line, I heard the first time, I was like, dang, that was fast, because they ran like 3:36. Then I heard our time. I said, oh my gosh, like we just broke it. So Kaylin was right there, so I ran to her, gave her a hug, but we were kind of like all over.
Yeah, I remember leaving the track and me and Rachel were walking off, and I'm like, "Is that the school record?" And she's like, "So nice." And I'm like, "Oh well." And everyone was like running up to us, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, that was the school record. I was like, "Oh shoot, okay."
I think it was kind of surreal because everybody was trying to get us to break that record all season, and for it to actually happen and no expectation out of it was kind of just like, okay, well that happened, so like now what?
So the pressure was kind of off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, not really.
No, okay.
Because you were first leg.
Right. It's because like I never go, like Bria is usually our first leg. So like when Curtis was like breaking down, like me and Curtis was like breaking down everyone's like legs, and then he's like side-eyeing me, and I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that. I'm not going first. Like I felt so sick. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I ain't seen Bria in 30 minutes. Rachel's sitting over there for 30 minutes. Like I don't know what's going on. Like it was just too much going on.
Okay, so that's something I didn't know. So you guys actually changed the order of when you traditionally ran. Take us through that.
Oh wait, when we traditionally ran from February,
or like you said, you ran first, and you don't usually run first, right?
Did I go first in February too?
Yeah. Like kind of like the method behind the February one, because I wasn't feeling great. Like it didn't make sense for me to be early, like one of the early leagues in case whatever happened. So that's why I was not first league.
But you normally stay in the position in which you run. Is that typical? Like you always usually run first, second, third, or fourth?
Yeah, it really depends on like who our competition is. Like Curtis kind of like bases it off like how everybody's feeling, like who's feeling the best, like who's in our heat, who's running what league, kind of like that. Because it's best to be in the race, like high in the race, earlier in the race than later.
Okay. So Rachel, you personally set the school record in the 400 this season. Did you think you would eclipse a pair of school marks this season, and was that one of your goals?
I did not think I was, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know what the school record was until after I broke it. So I didn't really have that in mind. I was just going into the season just running, especially the first meet. I was just I didn't really think about it that much.
Do your
And so
thing. Just stay consistent and do your thing.
Yeah.
And has that pretty much been the goal for you, just coming in all together? I mean, has that been what you've wanted to do? I mean, set yourself up for those goals of just run.
Yes, that has been goal. But I remember having a meeting with Curtis when everybody had to write down their goals. And one of my goals was to try running a 51:52, I think, by outdoor or during outdoor. But I didn't think I would do it in indoor because indoor is indoor. So, but it's a good thing that I met the goal and that I can make more goals to meet for the outdoor season.
When you say indoor, tell me what you mean by that.
Well, indoor is 2 laps. So sometimes before indoor season, I was thinking about the 2 laps. I was like, it's going to feel like an 800 because you're going around twice, even though it doesn't feel like an 800 because Kayla knows what an 800 feels like, but you're going around twice. So it's just kind of like, how do you get out? Where do you start like floating and all that stuff? And then for outdoor, it's just 1 lap around. So it's like you can really plan your race properly.
Yeah. Things, and at Iowa State, our track is a 300. Our indoor track is a 300. So even that with the curves kind of throws you off a little bit when you're right. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I remember asking Z, how do I run my race? And she was like, because I didn't know how to do it on the 300-meter track.
Sure. So that would be different than what you were used to. Okay. Definitely. So at the 2023 Big 12 Indoor Championships, just a couple weeks later from Fayetteville, as many of you know, I married into a track family, so I've become really familiar with the intricacies of the sport. How much timing is involved in a relay, and how much weekly practice do you do as a group?
I would say as for the Big 12 record breakers, we don't do a lot with Michaela, just maybe certain days if she comes over. But as for like me, Kaylin, Bria, and Rachel, we do a lot together, training together. We don't do much as like handing off and stuff like that because I think it just comes natural when you've done it so many times. But I think like us just training together just like helped us work mentality of like, oh, I know she can do this and I know she can do this. We've pushed through this before and we felt this before.
So the record didn't last very long. So clocking in a 3-minute, 36.80 seconds in the finals of the Big 12 Indoor Championships. You guys finished 4th. And this squad was Zakia, Bria, Rachel, and Michaela. Was it in that order?
It was me, Rachel, Bria. Yeah.
So how satisfying was that for all of you to break it again?
I was surprised. I wasn't expecting that at all.
No.
I was jumping around.
Watching Michaela like dig for like 100 meters. Like, no way that we ran that fast. I'm like, no way.
Well, and Caitlin, you also had medaled in another race at the Big 12 Indoors. So is that what changed you from being part of the relay because of the timing between those events?
I don't think so. I think that day I was just like running on adrenaline, so I was ready to go if need be. But I think the overall decision was kind of just who had the fresher legs and who was more kind of like, I don't know, ready to go at the moment. So I was on the sidelines if need be, but at the end of the day, it was Michaela, Breezy, and Rachel who got to run it, which standing on the sidelines was still crazy because y'all just took off and then we were all like, damn, they moving fast for real. And then another record gone and we're like, okay, cool. So yeah.
So Michaela, how was that for you running at the Big 12 Championships, anchoring the 4x4?
It was kind of crazy because like last year I remember watching this meet from my house like in a snowstorm, and I was like, wow, like I'm gonna be running that meet next year, and I actually ran the meet. No, it was crazy. I was like trying to find all the cameras, like wave to my mom and stuff. Yeah, but it was very crazy. I remember warming up, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be like second or third leg, and then I see Coach Brondike like make eye contact with me, and I'm like, oh gosh, no. I try to like look away, But then he comes and finds me and tells me like I'm anchoring, and my heart literally like dropped to my shoes. I was like, "There's no way I'm anchoring this race." But yeah, I mean, the girls like literally ran perfectly and set up the race like there's no way the race could have went better. So it was actually really fun, really nice. I remember crossing the finish line and being like dead, but I was like counting like the seconds until I crossed the finish line. I was like 35, 36. Like the whole body crossed the finish line to get that time. But yeah, it was really fun. It was a great experience.
When you guys are running, do you have, I guess maybe, do you have a certain thing that you always do as you warm up, or is there a certain thing that you always do once you get that baton and you're going? Like Michaela, you just said you're counting. What are the things that you guys do just to keep yourself focused?
Breathe. I don't breathe. I get so nervous that I don't breathe. Like I felt like when I say I feel sick, like I feel like I'm about to like vomit. Like it's just like I can't explain the feeling because like it's just like I don't like it. It's just it makes me feel like somebody's about to beat me up. Like I can't do it. But like once I'm out of the blocks, it's just like, oh, I'm here. Like it's fine. Like I'm okay. Like I don't know what I was freaking out for. And then it's like once I'm in the race, I'm like, oh, I don't even know what I was I don't even know what's going on. Like I just got to get to it. It was so crazy because like I didn't expect to be that close to the girls that were leading off either, because I felt like they were going so much faster on their lead legs than we were. So like whenever I was like finishing and I was like getting to Bria, I'm like starting to cut off this Baylor girl because I'm like, you know what, you got to fight dirty to get to what you want. So I'm like, I got to get to Bria, like I got to get to her, and it just ended up working out.
Rachel, what do you do?
One thing I do, like before the race starts, I usually take a nap. Everybody usually comes for me for this, but it actually helps me like stay like just calm. Just I don't know, I just need a nap. I'd be tired sometimes.
No, so that's how you set your mindset. Rachel's crazy.
We had like 20 minutes before we had to like walk over to the starting line and like check in and everything. They're calling like almost like last calls. They're like, "Where's Rachel?" And she's like in the bullpen sleeping. I was like, no strides, no stretches, no nothing. She just knocked out. I was like, wow.
I needed that nap.
That's funny. Kaylin and Z, you guys are seniors. Bria, you're a junior. What advice do you have for Michaela and Rachel as they are starting their Cyclone journey? And, it's a marathon, even though you guys are the sprints, but it's a marathon through this journey. What advice do you have for them as they're starting out?
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? I would say take it day by day and just kind of like enjoy the process. It's going to be kind of long because it's going to feel kind of long, but as long as you take it day by day and work day by day, it's just, you're going to enjoy it a little more, and it's just going to be part of the day, I guess.
And you guys have several seasons. You've got indoor season and you have outdoor season, and you compete in the fall to get ready for those seasons. So that's something that, people may not necessarily understand the demands of track and field. Any other advice?
I would say advice-wise, as you're going along being a student athlete, I would say just continue to keep your mentality high. Like if you're mentally low, like yesterday, me and Kaylin felt mentally low at practice, and it was just like, I don't know if I can make it through. You got to continue to like stay on your mental health at all points, because once you get to like outdoor season and you're like, this is dragging so long, to where last year I remember at regionals I was like, I don't want to do this, I just want to be in Miami somewhere on the beach. Like it's just like you got to keep that mentality of like, I just want to keep going, like I want to be better and better and better, because sometimes it can get hard keeping that mentality. So just staying on your mental health, staying physical, and staying like mentally strong will just help you throughout these couple of years.
Yeah, to feedback off of Z, I was just going to say you have to take care of yourself. Like, you have to put yourself first sometimes, but you have to communicate. Communication is very, very strong. Like, you have to communicate really well. And, like, yeah, yesterday we were all like, this workout is going to kill us, but we all, like, killed it. But it's, like, the energy and the people around you. Like, if you have people to encourage you, your teammates to pick you up when you're down. Like, literally, Z has picked me up after a workout plenty of times.
Literally.
Just being there, like, knowing that you have teammates that support you, care about you, want you to do better, like that helps as well.
I love that. It's definitely about the people. And, this is a great way to to end the indoor season, but as you carry this success into the outdoor season, it is day by day. I mean, that's a really good way to look at it, because you're going to have a roller coaster still. So Rachel, Michaela, maybe there's somebody out there listening or watching that's inspired by you guys as freshmen, you know, doing what you're doing and setting new records and making history, and your team making history at Iowa State. You know, what advice would you have for people that are really just getting started into their love for track and field?
I'd probably say don't give up on yourself. Like everything's a process. You're not gonna not every meet you're not gonna run a PR. You're not gonna run a season's best. Like you're not gonna just only go up. It's gonna be fluctuations. It's gonna be setbacks, but it's also gonna be like pull throughs. So I would say just not to give up on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. But also do like the little things that will get you there. Don't cut corners. Don't do anything that would shortchange you of maybe um like qualifying to nationals, or because everything's a building block.
That's really good advice. Rachel?
I would say probably make goals so you can you have something to work towards, and also what was it? Make sure you're connected to track, because like for me, for example, someone can ask me, do I know who this person is? And I wouldn't know who the person is. But you have to stay connected to track, try to learn different things that you don't usually know, so it can you can grow with track and not just run the sport.
And that's a higher level. Yeah. So that's a higher level, something that you're learning. Well, you guys all made history at Iowa State, and I know that this is not going to be the end. There's so much talent here on this screen, and we're just thankful that you guys had a few minutes to sit down with us, and we appreciate you, and we'll be cheering you on. So good luck at nationals for those that are going to nationals, and we'll also be excited to cheer you on in outdoor season. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.